Did you ever look into the nursing scandal thing that I was talking about?
No, wait. Oh my God, I forgot.
No, I'm serious.
Catching up.
Listen, like, you gotta be fucking careful now because you live in Florida and you don't know if the nurses that you're going to go to are legit or not, because
Go to the doctor.
there's something like 21 schools, I think, are part of this operation where there's like, they just like basically falsified nursing degrees. And then they helped place those nurses who they falsified their nursing degrees in Florida. And it's in Florida.
Well, okay, actually,
So
that
you
makes sense because I
you better
know
watch yourself.
currently we are desperate for like nurses right now.
Yeah, because they probably all, like, a bunch of them, they probably all fucking fled too when they found out. Because if you find
Yeah.
the fines, so now they're like looking at all these degrees that were sent out, and they're estimating something like 7,000 degrees.
Wait, is there a list of schools?
I think I'll see if I can find it for
If you find a list of schools, I will out them right now, right here on stream live.
I mean, they're already outed. They're already, arrests are being made.
Incredible. Good.
Florida nursing school scandal.
I need to know if it's a local issue, okay? Because we have a giant hospital where I live, that is prominent in the South, and that would be very bad.
Oh, 7,600 is the new estimated number of unqualified nurses, and they could be working through the U.S., but Florida is the one. Florida is
nurses.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
Palm
nurses.
Beach School of Nursing in Palm Beach County.
Irrelevant.
Bingo.
And
Bingo bango.
Siena College and Sacred Heart International Institute. Those are the three schools.
I'm safe.
Check.
Let's
go, baby. Check.
I'm freaking safe, boys. Let's go.
All right. Good show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live from the Apocalypse. That's who we are. This is Class Reunion. Don't do that. Don't do that. Everybody say no. Why did you wait? No, I hate this. They are the two options, absolutely and yes. That's not how polls work. Hello, everybody. Just ignore that. Don't vote on it. Who could have done that? Don't vote in that poll.
Grip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
I'm not voting.
Yeah, dude. Crack one for the
just
boy.
Thank you for the donation while we're here.
Thank you for the donation, Warhorse Bard. Also, that's why you're my favorite, Corey, because you didn't say anything about licking horses all day.
I had it, so in my screen, I had it where, like, it was in between the two screens, so I couldn't see the poll. Now I'm just voting on it over and over again because I have a shit ton of points.
God damn it.
Thank you.
All right, well, you're not my favorite anymore.
I mean, who does that?
Nobody is my favorite.
I'm not voting.
Then Julia's my favorite.
I might as well have a million points.
We are Live from the Apocalypse. We play tabletop role-playing games. Cool. All right.
Kill that dog.
Thank you so much.
He's the bad guy.
Can we change that to that's how many horses you've licked?
No, we can't do that. Thank you so much for gifting a sub, Warhouse Bard. We appreciate that. Once again, this is Live from the Apocalypse. We're going to try this again. We're going to get through it. We are a tabletop role-playing game God damn it. We're not a tabletop role-playing game. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio. We make actual play content through podcasts and streams just like this one to raise money for charitable organizations and nonprofits and just generally people doing very important and good work in the world. And this stream is raising money for the First Nations Development Institute. So if you like what you see here, you can hit !donate in the chat. And instead of giving us your subscriptions, your bits, whatever the normal Twitch thing might be, instead take the $5 or $6, whatever you can spare. There is no expectation, and give it directly to the First Nations Development Institute instead of to us, because we just play games on the internet, but they do very good and important work with trying to restore economic independence to Indigenous communities in the United States and beyond. So they're very deserving of your money if you have some to spare. If not, no worries. I hope you enjoy the game. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are in full chaos mode tonight, apparently. Threats were made and are being delivered upon towards me specifically. And yeah, we are. This is Class Reunion. This is a game that we have been playing for just over a year, for 20 episodes, and it follows the story of five technically high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. They were separated from each other, and they have recently been reunited. Fairly recently been reunited. They've gone on some adventures together, and their relationships with one another have changed in that year.
Relationships.
Yes, indeed.
Is that what you would call it?
I mean,
Oh,
maybe
boy.
for some of you,
Possibly.
possibly.
How has it been, actually?
Are we labeling things? I mean, I think we're all just hanging out.
I think
You
we're just
know,
chilling.
Yeah, we're just vibing. It's
Yeah.
We're
fine.
just hanging out.
We're just chilling.
We're just having a good time.
we are going to get started with our story, but we'll go around and we'll do introductions, and everybody will say a little bit about who they are and what it is they're doing. And for once, I feel no remorse about doing this. JD, you're up first.
Hi, I'm JD, and according to all of the polls, I should lick a horse tonight.
All right, you're done.
We'll see.
Raph, you're up next. No, dear.
Oh man, okay, I can't continue. I just figured we were going to let Raph say that they were going to lick a horse. Anyways, yes, I am JD. I am playing Hunter, our lovely ace agender ranger, who is not having any romantic difficulties whatsoever in their life. It's fine. Everything's fine. What else do I do? Dear God, I am so thrown off by the feral energy tonight. You can also find me with Live from the Apocalypse for Academy H, our Masks Actual Play podcast that we record every other Sunday, where I play Casimir Bright, aka Spectral. You can also find me with Tales from the Table Studios, where I am in the SCP Foundation game, A Crumbling Foundation, where I play Dr. Zachary Ryan, who is my most normal and least damaged character. And then you can find me with RPGs Uncovered every Saturday, where we are playing Cyber Rats, and it is not sad at all, and nobody is going to die this upcoming week, and it is fine.
Thank you so much, JD. 38 votes, and most of those came from Corey. So
It outs you right there.
Surprising.
it's shocking.
That's surprising.
Oh, hello, I'm Raph. I play Max Miller, beefy, angry boy. Also not having any sort of emotional difficulties at all. Definitely didn't run into anyone important, or have said anything, emotionally triggering at all. What I will say with confidence, though, is I'm pro licking horses, and I condone that type of behavior. Thank you.
I hate this. Julia.
Hi. I'm Julia. I'm the local Delaware cryptid. I play Kelly Violet, who, she's accomplished pretty much what she'd been trying to do this whole time. So now she's just kind of hanging out with her old friends, her old buddies. I also play Lyra Kroll in Class Reunion every other Sunday, which will be this upcoming Sunday. We're gonna get some fun resolution to some fun little cliffhangers that we were left on, so that'll be good. And that's all I'm doing right now. Otherwise, you can find me just absolutely wildin' on Twitter or hanging out in the Discord, which you should join.
You should do that. The big question, did you find your sister?
Jesse didn't tell me, so I'm just gonna assume she's somewhere.
Okay.
She's an adult.
All right. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
And Corey.
Hey, my name's Corey. I play the wonderful, greatest Gritsky player of all time, Wayne Ovechek. Retired now. I'm working on my next career as a super spy, the greatest spy Noon has never seen. You'll also see me on Academy H this Sunday as Extra. And I may or may not die within the first 5 minutes of the show, so at least tune in for those first 5 minutes, see what happens.
All right. And I'll do the thing too. Hi, my name is Will. I run this game and I do a bunch of other stuff here at Live from the Apocalypse. I run and edit our Masks Actual Play podcast, which has been mentioned a couple times. Academy H. You can find it on any platform wherever you get your podcasts. I also play Fletcher Bain, a Scottish man in the Cryptid Community College, our Monster of the Week podcast, same platform, which just wrapped up. We have greenlit season 2. It is going to get made at some point. You can find season 1 wherever you get your podcasts. And that's pretty much it for right now. Right now, I'm on Mondays. I'm over at Guild Superior playing The Lost Sands, and every other Friday, not this Friday, you can catch me at No Fam Podcast doing a Cyberpunk Red game called End City, which has been a good time so far. And that's what I got going on. I'm gonna disappear now. We're gonna get into it. Not really.
Sister just told me she's playing Mario Kart, but that doesn't tell me where she is.
Probably, presumably at Jesse's house. Hopefully.
I hope so. I would hope she's with Jesse.
Perfect. So, we're going to get into it, I think. And where we are going to pick up is that it is nighttime. It's nighttime, and you've all turned in for the night after a very emotional and fraught day. As you were laying in your bed, Wayne, your wyvern badge, the badge of authority that marks you as one of the Kingdom of Aloran's spies, known as the Wyverns, buzzes slightly, and you hear a voice as if somebody were whispering in your ear. And that voice says, QB to MVP. I think it's time we talked. Just the two of us. Meet me where I died.
MVP to QB. Over and out. See you there. Out, over and out. We'll be there soon. Over and out.
You receive no reply.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of this castle.
Okay.
Let's light this puppy off.
Perfect.
I'm not going to tell anyone.
You know what? I was going to ask, but you beat me to it.
They'll just get into a whole tizzy about it. I think we can. What's better than just two guys sitting down and talking it out?
You're right. They're always making a fuss.
For sure.
Nothing wrong with meeting your old high school buddy in the dead of night.
No, this is fine.
Nothing wrong with a midnight library date.
It's true.
I'm not going alone. And how to use my last second level spell slot to summon Borkus.
Hey,
that's my partner in crime.
Also, y'all are being real judgy for sleeping folks. That's all I'm saying.
Who says we're sleeping, Will? Who says we're sleeping?
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Really got
Kelly is asleep. I'll tell you, Kelly's sleeping like a baby.
Max are doing.
Yeah, we're feral, but we're not that feral yet. So, with your spell, you magically summon your giant Saint Bernard companion, Borkus.
Borkus.
He appears. He has a barrel under his chin, on like kind of a collar that goes around his neck. What did he sound like? Does anybody remember Borkus's voice?
It was kind of. Hello.
Hey there, bud. And I'm like, hey there, bud.
It was
Right. Yeah. No, I could do that. Cool. Okay.
Wasn't he British?
No,
you're thinking of Rodney, the other giant dog in this game.
Rodney.
Rodney was my buddy.
This is my giant dog, okay? Not all giant dogs are the same.
It's true. All right. Where are we going, Wayne? What's happening?
Just going for a bit of a walkabout, going to meet an old friend.
I love walkies. You know that about me.
You and me both, bud. And I think we just kind of get into a nice little jog. Me and Borkus.
All right.
Do I need to sneak out of this castle, or can I just kind of slide my way on out?
I mean, you are in your super spy era. Whether or not you need to
Hell
is up to
yeah.
you.
Incredible.
I'm definitely going to attempt the stealth for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, I got to roll. I got to use the dice roller.
I mean, you don't
Yeah.
have to.
I'm going to get a d20 then.
Okay.
But I'll use it for this first roll. Oh, fuck. Where did I get?
You got a 16.
Did it show up? Yeah, I got a
It did,
17.
yeah.
16 plus
17.
1. Let's go. I'm a super spy. I'm so
Our
fucking
super spy.
stealthy. And I don't think I really need to. I think it's just like cartoonishly, like sneaking around corners, like tiptoeing along. But there's like Borkus is just kind of like nobody's really paying us any mind anyway.
Right. Yeah. Borkus is not particularly stealthy, but you are very stealthy. So you think you probably make up for him. But you pad very carefully through the castle. It is quiet at this time of night, dead quiet. There are maybe a few guards, maybe even just one guard, I think, standing by the front entrance, not particularly alert. Looks like he's on the verge of falling asleep. And you manage to skirt around him pretty easily. And you're outside. You're in the cool night air of Calderon. Where are you headed?
I'm headed right to the square. Well,
Okay.
I know where he's asking me to go to, and I'm ready to go. Just like a nice little jog going with Borkus. I'm jogging, but he's kind of just walking because he's so big. I have to kind of keep up.
Oh, yeah,
Just
it's a
good.
nice night.
Oh yeah, it's a great night out here.
So, you're going to meet with someone? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. So we're going for a bit of a jaunt to see an old friend. He died, but now he's back, and we have kind of a complicated relationship. But you know, always stick together.
Right. Yeah, that's what I
We
always say.
both play sports, so I feel like we're both kind of
Same.
on the same page.
Say no more. I understand. That's a
Team
bond.
sports, he's a team player, you know?
Yep. An unshakable bond. That's what that is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Just like ours. All right. Well, I'll be right here in case you need anything. And the streets of Calderon are similarly fairly quiet. You pass people here or there. You see a few people who are drunk, clearly kind of just sleeping it off in the streets, especially the farther into the city proper you get and away from the castle. Lights are still on in a few taverns, still some hearths burning with fire. You can hear some noise coming from some of them, some commotion, as people are still out drinking or eating or doing whatever. But yeah, for the most part, pretty quiet night. The streets of Calderon, though, are still lit by the magical street lamps that line every street in the city up to Cheapside. They don't exist in Cheapside, but they give off a sort of soft amber glow that lights your way. And as you reach Calderon Square, you see directly ahead of you the Grand Library rising up in front. You see the square itself, the elaborate fountain that sits in the middle of it, the library soars above you with windows of stained glass. The doors, the two huge, heavy doors, have been sealed for the night. But there is a person standing on the top of the steps. They're wearing a cloak with the hood pulled up. It's hard to make out exactly who it is, but it's about Ryan's height.
Before I turn the corner, I'd like to cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself. Seeing that person hooded up there, I think I pull my hood up, so it's like covering my, so it's like this, but it's like open in front, so you can see my full jersey.
Okay.
You can still see my full jersey, see the number, you know exactly who I am. But I'm like, I kind of walk up. I don't even walk up. I just kind of. This is MVP to QB. QB, come in.
Okay. And you see this person kind of shift their head as you say that. And then a voice comes onto your badge and says, "Yeah, I'm right here, Wayne."
All right, on my way over, and just kind of like awkwardly walks over. It's like when you're walking down a hallway and somebody is walking towards you and you want to like not make eye contact, so you don't have to look at them for so long. So Wayne's kind of like, "Come along now, Borkus." Borkus,
Right behind you,
plodding
Wayne.
along. All right there, bud. Yeah, and I walk up. And I go to the foot of the stairwell and I just start walking up. Just two boys here.
Just two boys? As you reach the top step, the cloaked figure will turn, and in the light cast by the street lamps surrounding Calderon Square, you see a familiar face lit from within the shadowy depth of the hood. You recognize Ryan's face, even though he is pale as death. Light also glints off of his now blood-red eyes. He looks much as he did the last time you saw him.
You're looking pale there, bud.
Yeah, you always had a talent for stating the obvious.
Yeah, you gotta be good at something, right?
Good at plenty more than that, Wayne.
So, what the fuck's going on?
I figured you were the least likely to try to kill me on sight.
Oh, yeah. And I think if you'd called out to anybody else, they all would have come. So I thought it'd be easier if, we just talked this out.
I appreciate that. Not really sure where to start. Sorry about last time we saw each other.
Yeah, well, I'll just never trust you again wholly. So you kind of just say what you need to say, get it all out there, and then hopefully we'll figure something out together.
I think that's probably for the best. I don't really think I can be trusted anymore. It's weird being here.
I was gonna say last time you were here, you were dead, but I guess it's not all that different now, is it?
It's the last thing I remember before I woke up like this. I remember seeing you and Kelly and Max and Hunter across the square, and I was the most excited I'd been in 10 years. And it seemed it seemed like destiny. Right? It felt like destiny.
Yeah.
And I guess it was, but it's not the way I thought. And now there's this hunger or this coldness inside me. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember what it felt like to care.
Mm.
To care about you or them. There's still these moments of clarity for now. But when I think back to the tower in Barrow, and I wasn't angry at any of you. I wasn't anything. But he told me to kill you.
Mm.
And because of whatever he turned me into. I just didn't care enough not to.
Mm.
I don't know what I'm becoming, Wayne.
Mm. You know, I wanted to apologize. We were supposed to set you to rest, and that was a failure on our part. The moment we let you out of our hands, that was our first failure. And I think seeing you here just kind of shows that there have been a long line of failures that maybe we haven't seen, but there's a bigger part that we played in this than that led you to where you are now. And for that, I'm sorry.
Feels insane that you would apologize to me. But I guess that's your strength, Wayne. Why people are drawn to you. Did you figure it out?
Oh boy. Oh man. I'm the wrong guy to ask that question to. I think we play a much larger role in Fate, and I guess we have been, the last domino in a line of dominoes that have led to a door opening up between our world and Anun. And now things may be wholly fucked, which could be our fault, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, if we're the last domino, a lot of things had to go wrong for us to get here, but still, is that what you're talking about? I think that's what we're talking about.
I only know what the head told me.
The head. Just casually throwing out the head here. Okay.
Spent a lot of time with him,
I bet.
as it turns out.
Hmm.
He was right then. Everything he said was true.
Hmm.
So what now?
Well, there's a big part of me that just wants to welcome you back into the group with open arms.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I mean, where are you at? Because I imagine he's probably not still talking to you. The apathy seems though it may still be there. We're kind of on the journey that we're on. Where are you going? What's your next move?
I don't know. I'd like to figure out what he did to me, what I'm becoming, and what's going to happen next. Maybe even if there's a way to fix it. I'm not holding my breath on that last one. If I could still breathe.
I was gonna say you probably don't really need to now, do you? Well, here, I'm gonna go back and have to tell everybody about this meeting. They're probably gonna be mad, but what can you do? What is it you want me to tell them?
Tell them that I'm a monster.
Hmm.
That I was remorseless.
Hmm.
I think that would be easier for them.
Hmm.
But tell them that we have a common enemy. I was a wyvern long before any of you, and I still carry that badge, and you'll be able to reach me on it
Mm-hmm.
when you fight the Danan, which I'm sure you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to be there. I can still fight.
Yeah, I'd like for you to be there too. And I see so much change in you now. Hey, we're both here and you're not trying to kill me. You know what I mean? Which is great. And keep in touch. I mean, don't be a stranger. I'm probably not going to tell them as much as I could because I don't think they'd understand. But I'm still here for you. And if there's a way that I can help, if there's something that I can do to get you back to where you were, you may never be alive again. That's fine. But you may be you again. And if I can, you'll be there. And I want to open up my arms to give him a big hug.
He is stiff at first. Stop it.
Well, I'm not Max.
But then he relaxes into it after a second. He tentatively, I think, puts his arms around you also. And then when he lets go, he will offer his hand out in, the clasp,
Oh yeah.
and he'll say, "Captains for life."
Captains for life. And I Predator handshake him. And then, hey, just so you know, don't be a stranger. And if you're ever, thinking, or if you ever, just thinking about me, go ahead and reach out. But if you're ever worried, if you're ever scared, don't forget that I'm here for you. And I sign a Gretzky puck and I hand it over to him. You know what? I was always your number one fan.
Likewise.
By the way, this is Borkus.
Hi, Borkus. Oh, hello there, Ryan.
Just hears barking. He says hi. He says hello there, Ryan.
It's a nice dog.
He's a good boy. Well, I'll see you soon there, guy.
Yeah. I'll see you soon. Maybe.
Put the hood up. Shh. Secret agents.
Wayne.
Yeah.
He hesitates. I meant what I said. That, you're the best of us. When things were at their worst, for me, I don't know why, but I thought about you and how you never let anything touch you. You never let anything get to you. I don't know if I'm alive, but it gave me life.
Oh, come on now. And I give him another big hug and I whisper in his ear, secret agents for life. I give him a pat on the back and then I whisper in his other ear, and also captains for life. And then I kind of wink at Borkus, and Borkus comes up and just slobbers all over his hand. All right, okay. Stop. You're going to make me cry and all that. Let's go. Get out of here.
He just kind of scratches Borkus behind the ear and says, "Good boy." And then he says, "I'll see you, Wayne." And he steps back, swirls the cloak around him, and vanishes in a puff of mist. And right as that happens,
That was super cool.
right as that happens, a scream splits the silent night air of Calderon.
Shit. Can I make a perception check with Borkus
You can.
to see where it was?
I would say maybe we just say screw the dice roller and just roll regular dice. You get real robot-y when you use it.
Liddy. That was a 10. Perception check for me is -1. Can I roll with advantage because of Borkus?
I will. Sure, I'll give you advantage because of Borkus.
Oh fuck! I dropped it. But it was a 9. That was a 9. So we'll take the 10 -1. Take the 9.
Okay. Were you just trying to figure out where it came from?
Yeah, just getting a direction of where it was coming
Okay.
from.
It is quiet enough that you get a general sense of where it is coming from. It sounds like from the west side of the city, a little bit of ways from Calderon Square. And I think even though you are a little disoriented by it, Borkus will not hesitate. Borkus will, take off, and you can follow after him. He is moving very quickly.
Yeah, I'm following right after him, and I'm kind of signaling to him to just be as loud as possible.
Okay.
Just like big, scary dog barks, like if a burglar is trying to break into your house.
Perfect. You do so. You follow after Borkus, who is bounding ahead of you very quickly. He is barking as loud as he possibly can, raising a general din and or ruckus. And he turns down. He starts turning into various like alleyways and back channels through the city. Leads you up and down a staircase or two. The screaming has stopped by this point.
And as we're going to, just as we're pulling up, I have 3 divine senses. So detecting good and evil. As I feel like I'm getting closer, I want to just, as an action, throw one up. As I move another 60 feet, as an action, throw one up. And just see if I smell anything off.
Sure. And that does good, that just detects good or evil, or how does that work?
It detects known location of a celestial fiend or undead.
Okay, cool. All right. As you get closer, you are not picking up anything with your divine sense other than Borkus, who is, definitely divine. But he rounds the corner. You round the last corner, and you see Borkus standing there. There is a low, rumbling growl in his chest. And ahead of you, there is this small, much smaller square than Calderon Square itself. It's really just like this sort of 4-way intersection. There's like a shop or a tavern or something on each of the corners. But the street lamps here are out. They're dead. They are not giving off any light, and it is dark. The only light here is from the moon itself. And you see under one of those street lamps a dark figure, taller than you, clearly very large and muscular, maybe even taller than Max. It's hard to tell. Dangling from one hand is a woman. She is a little bit older. She appears to be unconscious. You get the impression that this dark figure is looking at you, even though it's hard to tell. But the moonlight does shine off of something. As they raise their other hand, the hand that is not holding the woman by her arm, you see the moonlight glint off of metal. And the entirety of that arm, from maybe the elbow down, is some sort of silvery blade, curved and jagged in its silhouette. This person, if they are in fact making eye contact with you, doesn't break that gaze as they raise their other hand and, with one stroke, lop off the woman's arm. She falls to the ground, bleeding, still not conscious. Figure stands there for a second, holding the severed limb, and then takes off running in the opposite direction, away from you and the square. What do you do?
I want to use the wand of pyrotechnics, hopefully just like right before they turn. And if anything, just it doesn't really work like blinding anybody, but I'd like to at least put it in front, or like blast right in front of them with like a flash of light, and just hopefully get one look at its face before it turns.
Okay, fair enough. And that is a saving throw?
No, it's just a blast of light. Let's see. 1 to 7 charges. When holding it, you can use an action to blow a charge 60 feet away. Makes a really loud crack. It's like fireworks. So it just explodes in his face. It doesn't have any ill effects on the person, but it's like a bright light and, firework.
Cool. You set that off, and the firework comes streaking out of the end of it, detonates like right in front of the person, makes them stop moving for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You really only get a glimpse,
Mm-hmm.
but the glimpse is of a very honestly, there's not much that jumps out at you
Mm-hmm.
as notable about this person. They have a big, bushy sort of beard
Mm-hmm.
that's maybe kind of a blondish golden color. It's very hard for you to tell. A big, wild mop of hair, that same sort of goldish blonde color. Sort of a hooked nose, and that's really the only impression you get of a face.
Sounds good. From there, I'm going to kind of mentally note to Borkus, go, don't lose him. And I'm just going to run to the woman as fast as I can and lay on hands her to whatever will stop the bleeding. And kind of give, in that time while I'm dealing with that, hopefully Borkus can either catch up with him or at least keep up with his trail.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. You lay on hands for the woman. What does that look like?
I think in this situation it's going to be kind of more intense, where he's just going to essentially like put his hand directly over where he tore her arm off, that like and it's just going to like cauterize it with ice. So it'll be like my hand and her arm will essentially be fused together with ice, and then I'll just like shatter my hand away, and then it'll just essentially just be like a cauterized wound.
Cool.
It's all
Love that.
frozen up.
Absolutely. And I imagine as the ice melts, it's just going to leave this sort of fully healed, stump behind it, essentially. Amazing. Perfect. Yeah, you tend to her. She, again, does not rouse, does not regain consciousness. Cauterized is very good. Shout out to that.
Does that work in the situation, or is that only with fire?
No,
it's cauterized.
Oh, nice. I'm so fucking good.
And I think as you are finishing up that healing process, as the last of your magical ice is healing, Borkus is going to return, walking back, very out of breath and panting, and is going to say, I'm sorry, Wayne, I wasn't able to get him. I wasn't able to keep up.
No worries there, bud. Hey, you did your best. I know that's all that matters. I give him a little scratch behind the ears. And then from there, I would like to, let's get this lady somewhere safe. And I load her onto his back, and I guess we'll go back to the castle with her, unless there's like a hospital or something that may make more sense to bring her to.
There's not a hospital in Calderon, but there is probably a clinic.
Gotcha.
Which is like the closest thing Calderon probably has to a formal medical facility.
I'm betting we have like a doctor or some wing on the grounds that like you can, like an infirmary of sorts. So I'd like to bring her to the infirmary. Okay. I'm not gonna immediately raise a ruckus. I'm gonna kind of walk her there, try not to make too big of a show about it. Just let the doctor know, or cleric or whatever, the situation, that it has been, as of right now, she's taken care of, but she's obviously in shock. We're going to deal with this in the morning. I want to just give her a good night's rest. But, please look out for her. We'll be back in the morning.
Okay. Absolutely. You
Borkus
can communicate all of that.
We'll be back.
Right. And I imagine you're sort of she's sort of slung across Borkus's back as you bring her back to the castle. After you drop her off and have that interaction with a very sleepy looking physician, Borkus is probably sitting waiting for you to finish, but he looks very tired. His tongue is out. He's panting, and his form is actually kind of flickering a little bit as the length of his of his ability to stay manifested here is pretty much exhausted. And he says, Wayne, I'd like to rest if that's okay. I'm very tired.
Yeah, absolutely there, bud. Paw? Shake his little paw. All right.
Your paw.
Little.
Right. Nice job there, guy. I toss his hair, and then he melts into chocolate milk. or hot chocolate.
Yeah, he melts into hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about this, guy. I don't know how sanitary hot chocolate is. It's kind of just part of the spell. Anyway, I'll get someone in here to clean it up.
Very cool.
That on to bed?
You're just going to bed?
Valid.
No.
It is
I don't
valid.
know.
It is totally valid. I mean,
Yeah,
can.
you know what? I'm just going to go to bed. I'm going to plan to wake up early in the morning, just be the first person up, notify some, whoever needs to be notified a little bit. But I'll kind of just be the first one down for breakfast. And
Okay.
as like a reasonable time, I would kind of, this is MVP to Baby Bird. Baby Bird, if you could meet me down and I'll just actually hold on 1 minute, and it's like, Hunter has been added to the chat. If we could,
That's not how it works.
and
We discussed this last time.
Kelly
did.
Violet has been added to the chat. Hey
not a
guys,
group call.
if you guys could just meet me downstairs for breakfast, we've got some stuff we want to talk about.
Does it like cut in between? So like each time he says a new name, it just switches over, so we
Yeah.
only get part of the conversation.
Probably, yeah. You each get
Incredible.
like 3 words.
Practically, I'll just reach out to them each individually.
Right, yeah.
But in my mind, it's a group chain.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Little group
Which is not a thing Wayne would even know about, having vanished in the year
Oh my
1989.
god, you're right.
That's true.
Shit.
Max Miller, for all of your bluster earlier, where do you wake up?
I was going to ask Raph, where did Max fall asleep?
I think after everything, Max probably didn't want to go back into the keep. Honestly, because he was scared of running into other Hunter. So probably walked around. He's very exhausted. He is overly tired, like a baby. And I think he just walks around, and in his like almost zombie-like state, I think he just instinctively walks to the stables and just passes out in the hay after licking a horse.
All right, fair enough.
Will, may I interject something in that case?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Because I think Hunter as well finds themselves in the barn that night.
Okay.
And I think they probably don't realize Max is there initially until like hearing him move.
Probably snore.
And possibly snoring.
Cool.
And I think they do walk over to him.
I'm going to pause you right there.
I'm very scared by the fact that you're doing that.
I'm scared too.
What if I say I look a horse? Does that not cause this to happen?
I'm just going to say up front, what I'm about to do
Oh no.
definitely has nothing to do with the fact that you licked a horse. Max,
Yes.
in your dreams,
Oh no. Okay.
maybe it's the events that took place earlier today.
Which ones? So many.
You're not wrong. Your dreams take you back years to some of your first days in a noon. First months, perhaps, maybe first years. To a time when, for the first time in his life, Max Miller started to understand exactly what it meant to be a part of something bigger than himself. The Azure Knights, this wandering force for good that you are only just now starting to really understand the code and the history of, have taken you in. but you have not quite yet come to fully embrace that code or that history.
Mm-hmm.
On this particular memory that you sort of find yourself stuck in,
Mm-hmm.
you were just sort of, minding your own business. It was probably mealtime. Everybody was gathering to get food. And as you stepped away with your rations for the day, your bowl of food, kind of bumped into somebody else.
How dare they?
How dare they? In looking to see who it was, they turn around and they are maybe about the same age as Max, roughly. Handsome, kind of darker skin tone, hair that's sort of braided up, but like not as tall as Max, but
Never.
physically maybe a match. And they kind of gave you a smirk and said, "Why don't you watch where you're going?"
Max would throw his food down and push him.
I think there's a moment of surprise, but then his eyes start to like move around. You can see the other knights that are waiting in line are starting to take note of this. Nobody's moving to break it up. A few people are maybe even like into it a little bit. A few people maybe like shove the other guy forward and are like, "Oh, you're not going to take that from him, are you? He just joined up. Got to show him his place." And the guy shrugs, says, "Guess we're doing this then." And he is going to swing at you. And I think he probably makes contact. I think he probably hits you in the jaw that first time.
Yeah.
Not sure Max has ever really been in a fight at this point. At least not a
Not
serious
really.
one.
I was about to say Max is not really used to people fighting back. So he was probably mid-sentence saying something like cocky and stupid before he got punched in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes on for probably longer than it should, with the two of you just kind of hitting each other. After a certain point, Max, your like instinct takes over. You kind of get over this fact that like, oh, weird, this person's actually fighting back. And then you're just sort of rolling around on the ground, punching each other.
I'm trying to remember my wrestling move.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's not working in this scenario. Like you try to pull a couple of them and then he just like clocks you in the face again. Turns out wrestling moves don't do a whole lot when somebody's willing to just like punch you. But goes on for probably longer than it should. Nobody really intervenes until you hear this great big booming voice that says, all right, break it up. That's enough. That's more than enough. Get apart, you two." And at that point, you will feel strong hands starting to pull you off of this other person whom you recognize. Thinking back on it now in your dream, you immediately know this person's name, and I don't have my notes in front of me, unfortunately, so you'll have to tell me what it is. No, that's Alistair is the person pulling you apart, but the person you're punching.
Simon.
It's Simon.
Simon, that's right. That's his name. Yeah. Alistair Greystone pulls you off of Simon and is going to kind of like interpose his significant frame in between the two of you, put one hand on your chest, shove you back lately. You're a little surprised by the sheer force of that shove. And
oh man, he shouldn't be that strong.
and he is gonna like point a finger at you and then at Simon and is gonna say, "The last thing I need is the two greenest souls in my unit wearing each other out. You understand me? Keep your hands off each other.
He started it.
I don't care. I didn't ask.
Whatever.
I'm understood. And then he's going to point at you, Max, and he's going to point back at Tom. He's going to help him up.
What? No, what?
You heard me.
Fucking hell.
Your brothers fall down. You help them.
Fine. And he reaches down and pulls him up. But also, when he reaches down, he's going to step on his foot as he pulls him up. Gives him a little, like, shoulder.
Cool. Yeah. And as you help him up, he's going to, like, hold onto your hand in response to you stepping on his foot. He's going to hold onto your hand a little longer than he needs to, and he's just going to squeeze it as hard as he possibly can. And Alistair's going to look between the two of you, and he's going to say, you two cause any more problems, and I will leave you behind.
Yes, sir.
You've no right to be here. Neither of you. You wear the blue. It's a calling. One that neither of you have yet to earn. And then he kind of deflates a little bit and he waves his hand and he says, now go eat your food.
Throw mine on the ground.
And I think as you do that, and as you like start to storm off, or maybe just turn away in a huff, you just hear you just hear laughter behind you, and like Simon is laughing, but he's not like laughing at you. Maybe at first you think he is, but it's like it's a weird thing that I don't think you've ever experienced before, where he kind of claps a hand on your shoulder and says, "What are you going to prove by just throwing your food on the ground? You're just going to go hungry."
Whatever, it's slop anyway. It's just gross.
Yeah, maybe, but it's going to get you farther than on an empty stomach. Like, here, take mine.
What? No, what are you not going to eat?
I've got some food tucked away in my bunk.
Are we not allowed to have extra food?
It's not that you're not allowed to have it. I just happen to have it. And looks you up and down and says, willing to bet you don't. So just take this.
And he snatches it.
Your name's Max, right?
Maybe. And yours is ugly?
I think we both know that's not true. It's nice to meet you, Max. And then Hunter, as you approach Max sleeping.
Oh my god!
Yep.
He sits up, saying the name Simon out loud.
I'm gonna.
I knew that was where we were heading, and it still got me. And
I
it
did
still
not.
got me.
I
As soon as you were like, "I'm going to stop you," I was like, "Yep, I see exactly where this is going." Is Max awake?
I'm going to say yeah. Max, you sit up. You don't really remember necessarily saying Simon's name, but like you're surprised to see Hunter standing there.
And I will say, when you see them, they've taken off their red anime jacket and like we're clearly going to put it on top of you, but now they've just frozen and are just staring at you.
Did I scare you?
Max, who's Simon?
No one anymore. How do you...
You just said that name.
No, I didn't. I was asleep.
People can talk in their sleep, Max.
Well, I don't.
Max, I don't have a spider in my brain anymore, which means I can't read your mind, which means there's no way I could have known that name unless you said it.
Just as a point of order, you definitely do still have a spider in
I
your
was gonna say,
brain.
I
Do I?
never gave,
I
I
thought-
never
I
gave
thought
my
we all
spider
do.
back.
I thought the spiders left us.
Nope.
No, the big
Oh.
spider
No,
left.
they-
She
Yeah.
Good. I'm so
She
glad I haven't lost the spider.
cheated.
Never mind. Going to retract that statement. So,
And read
instead,
Max's
going to
mind.
say-
that is a violation of trust.
Anyways,
We don't
going
do
back
that in this
to that,
family.
what Hunter is instead going to say is, I would never use the brain spider to read your mind. So how else would I know that name?
What time is it?
You're not going to answer my question.
I don't want to do it at what time is it?
Whatever the fuck o'clock.
It's early.
I don't have a watch, Max.
Hmm.
But the sun
I-
isn't up.
You'd guess it's probably around maybe 7, 8 a.m. in Earth time.
It's too... Do you want to know?
I don't know, but the fact that you don't want to tell me seems to say a lot.
It's not that I don't want to tell you. It's just that I didn't think it would matter anymore. But I suppose things have changed.
I don't know what any of that means, Max.
Yeah. That's okay.
So what you're saying is it does matter.
I wasn't expecting to wake up from the night with you hovering over me like a deer in headlights, starting to interrogate about a past that I thought had died. And I don't blame you for it, but it is something that is... I'm not used to talking about it or anything.
And Hunter is just going to put their jacket back on and just simply say, understood, and turn to go.
Okay, Mag's gonna get up and wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap. I I don't like feeling cornered.
I wasn't trying to
And-
make you feel cornered, Max.
I know a lot happened yesterday. Some stuff that you don't know about. And may not, well, don't understand yet. If you want to know, I'll tell you. But it's complicated.
I mean, I asked, so it's really up to you if you want to tell me.
I think Max backs up and just like slumps down on the hay and looks up at Hunter and just like pat.
I think Hunter hadn't fully turned around until that point, but like hearing Max sit down, they do glance back at him. You can see that there are like tears in their eyes, but they just kind of quickly wipe them away. And upon seeing that you gestured for them to sit down beside you, they are going to do that unless Max indicates that he no longer wants that.
My passive perception is 10. Okay. So I didn't think I would ever have to share this or talk about it ever with anyone. I've never wanted to, and that hasn't really changed. But I guess the circumstances or whatever have changed as well. So before all of this, I was a part of a group of knights called the Azure Knights. They were good people. They took me in when I didn't have much. Well, I really didn't have anything. And they made me into who I am now. They helped me control what I am. And I'm not good at making friends. You know this.
I
I'm
don't
not good
actually
at...
know that. You seemed really good at it in high school.
Did you ever actually see anyone sharing information with me, talking to me? I was scary. I'll say that. And I think people were maybe afraid of me, but I didn't have anyone that really like cared for me, I guess. That sounds dumb, but not in the way that normal people do, I guess. And Anyway, I was alone for a good bit of the nights. I didn't want to be with people. That was until I met Simon. And Simon became my friend, my best friend. We hated each other at first, but I don't know. We just understood each other. And he introduced me to the rest of them. He made a group, he had a group, I was just in it. But we shared everything together. We did everything together. He was my brother and my closest companion. And for a long time, I thought that was it. I thought that's how I understood what we were. We called each other brother, but that never felt right to me. And that was fine. I didn't understand and I didn't have to. Everything was great. He was a shining star. He was the sun. And it sounds so stupid.
You loved him.
I didn't know. I didn't know until yesterday. I didn't know until you asked me that I could even feel that. But it lit something in me. It made me understand how and what I had felt back then and what I feel now. And the full truth of it is that he betrayed me and I betrayed him. We had been burned by the people we had been trying to protect for a while, and he got bitter. They all did. And he turned his back on the people. So I turned my back on him. And it's been 5 years, and he died that day. In my mind, he died that day. And thought I would never see him again. Last night, after everything that happened, I was upset. I made you upset, and I made Hunter upset. And I was feeling things I had never felt before and things that I had felt 1,000 times. When I ran, He was there. Yeah, I didn't know what to do or say, so I didn't. But he's here in Calderon, and he's changed. And he's not dead. He's alive. And that I can't comprehend that yet. I don't know what to do about that yet. I spent years grieving and trying to forget. And last night, everything came back. I didn't want it to. The Simon I knew is still gone. But he's not dead. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want
Max,
know how to talk about
Max.
this. I don't.
Max, you should tell him how you feel.
Tell him what? When we were boys? I don't feel that. I don't think anymore.
But
I
you
have
said
this idea. I have this idea of him in my mind. But that's not who he is anymore.
But Max, you said that that was the only time you felt that way. And you said you felt that again yesterday when you saw him yesterday.
It was because I understood. Had a word for how I had felt when I was younger.
Hunter,
Yes,
you have a pretty good passive perception, right?
I do.
What
I
is it?
do. It is a 19.
Cool.
Not even passive anymore.
You become aware of somebody standing in the doorway before Max does. Max, you become aware of somebody standing in the doorway when they clear their throat. You look over and Simon says,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
"Is this
Get
a
out of
bad
here."
time?" And on that note, we're going to take a break.
What the fuck? Why do you do this, Will?
We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
On Manuel's birthday.
Whose birthday
on
is it?
my grandmother's
father's.
on my great grandmother's fake birthday.
That's right. Apologize to Manuel for me, but I think he would be very.
Oh my god!
I think he would be very pleased to know that this is how we're celebrating the day of his birth. We will be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you real soon for more of this. Don't lick any horses. Bye bye.
So yeah, if you just go, I'd watch the first Free Willy with you, but not any of the sequels. They got really fucking weird.
I love Free Willy.
But you can just go next time you're up here. You just have to take a trip to the Philadelphia Naval Yard, and I will show you the abandoned building full of goldfish.
I would love to visit the wild goldfish.
Yeah, they're on the map and everything.
Hey everyone.
What's up?
Welcome back. We took a break. We're back. I think it's time to get right back into it.
Yeah.
Is it?
Kelly's gonna go. I'm gonna go back to being asleep.
Kelly.
Yeah.
No. I have nothing to contribute to the gayness happening here. My fiance's in another city. What do you want?
You are awoken by a knock at your door.
Simon.
Simon on the other side of your door says, "Is this about time?"
It got really weird down there. They sent me up here to talk to you. No.
Incredible.
Kelly will kind of like sit up, look out the window to see what time of day or night it is. I'm assuming it is still dark.
No, it is early morning.
Okay.
Good Lord.
I'm gonna wait and see if they knock a second time.
They do. Sounding a little more frantic this time.
Okay, if they sound frantic, she gets up. She does have one of her, like, in one hand, she has one of the butterfly knives that she kind of flips out. And so she opens the door kind of like half. And so on the other side, there's the knife. They can't see it, but she's ready.
Right.
She's like, yes.
On the other side of the door, you would recognize luminary Alec McMorrow.
Jesus.
Standing there, he's in his uniform. He looks very tired, deep bags under his eyes. His like reddish hair is kind of all out of place. He looks a little unkempt, like he has not slept well. But standing over his shoulder is the tall form of Mirden Wilt with his arms crossed.
I'm
Very
gonna
neutral expression on his face.
just gonna kind of sigh, open the door, still holding the knife. Just be like, what? What time is it?
It's Alec looks back and forth between you and Mirden, kind of who's looming over his shoulder. It is because it's around about 8. But Kelly, I came here because there's a sort of a matter that I'd like to discuss with you, and
Yeah. Okay.
he'll look over his shoulder again and say, "I'll just do that now, then I suppose."
Do you want to come in? She's like pointedly not looking at Mirrodin.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would be proper. But there were more murders last night.
Murders.
Yeah,
Mance didn't die. People died?
yeah. This time,
Jesus.
bled out. It looks like from wounds where their arms were taken.
Jesus. Kelly's gonna kind of like step away and start like pulling her stuff, getting ready so that she can like actually go with them. Do they have anything in common, or is it just people who happen to be just out at night?
As far as we can tell, just folk who are out. One of them wasn't even out. One of them was sleeping in bed. If you are like gearing up and getting ready to come out of the door, Mirden is going to kind of like stand there, clear his throat, and say, something I should know about?
You were busy last night dealing with, I guess, the aftermath of whatever happened while Wayne and I was gone. But yeah, we were gonna bring it up this morning when we were all together. We found Mansar Dane last night with his arm chopped off, babbling about a huntsman.
Huntsman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Said he was marked.
And where is he now?
Downstairs in the infirmary. Wayne and I brought him back last night. We thought it was kind of just an isolated Mansar Dane thing.
Well,
He kind of inspires that
Luminary.
in people.
Well, Luminary McMorrow, you will have to update your count. Another one was brought in last night. This one's alive.
Another one brought here.
Into the infirmary, yeah. So I was informed this morning.
All right, I'm gonna head out, and Kelly's gonna start jogging down towards the infirmary.
At some point this morning, I did send out a message that we all need to sit down and talk.
Yeah. I think you were probably sitting down in the banquet area, kind of the banquet hall, sort of enjoying a breakfast of your own. And I think as you kind of sit there, you will probably look up and over your, eggs and what is Wayne having for breakfast? You've probably got a pretty strict training regimen, I imagine. So
he's kind of letting himself go. I mean, he's retired at this point. It's kind of like a triple meat stacker.
Just a triple?
Triple meat stacker with some sausage on the side, and a bran muffin to keep you regular.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Balance it out.
Really, really important. So as you look, the doors of the banquet hall are open, and you see like Kelly, Alec, and then Mirden sort of jog by in that order towards the infirmary.
I kind of time to get to work. Just kind of get into step. Hey, Kelly, I don't know if you got my message.
Yeah, you said something about all of us hanging out. I assumed that was for whatever we usually do.
Yeah, no, so there was, and Wayne's like catching up, like scooting on. Yeah, so there was something that happened last night that I thought may be important to kind of go over. What are you guys doing here, Alec Memora? And I just can't bring myself to remember your name. I know we've met a couple times, haven't we?
It's Mirden, it's Mirden.
Oh. Anyway, so last night some shit went down, and there are some things we could talk about now, some things I want everybody to be here for, but there was another incident where somebody got their arm chopped off, and I brought him in. I stabilized him, then brought him in, but I just kind of wanted to go over that in a group setting and not, with these two kind of causing a ruckus.
Well, these two are here because there was apparently more than just Mance and whoever you found. So, more than 3, that makes it a serial killer. So, this is a problem. I mean, it was always a problem, but it's even more of a problem.
Yeah, and I think as we're on our way to the infirmary, I'm kind of just conveying what I saw last night, at least like the very little information I have on the person/creature that I saw, and their whole dealio.
And you can see as you reach the infirmary, it is a very small section of the castle. It is basically almost already at capacity just with the 2 patients that are currently there. There are exactly 2 tables made out of this blue crystalline substance. You see Mansar Dane's body laid out on one, a very relatively thin white sheet stretched over his body for modesty. Same with the woman you saved last night, Wayne, who, now that you get a better look at her, looks to be about your age, maybe a few years older. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks definitely like she's had a harder life than you.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, has the sheet over her, and the tables underneath both of them are sort of emitting this soft, glowing light. It's kind of suffusing their being. You can they each have a nimbus of the same light, just sort of extending maybe like a millimeter or two off of their bodies.
Cool.
Kelly's
Mirrodin.
Oh.
No, you go ahead, Kelly.
I was gonna say Kelly's just heading over towards where Mance is, so if Mirrodin's gonna say something.
Mirrodin's gonna sort of take it all in for a second and is gonna say, serial killer, as you say.
Yeah, more than 3 is a serial killer. More than 45 is mass. If it's all a family, it's family annihilation. There's a whole category we can get into. That's not
Kelly.
really the point of what I was saying.
Kelly, I lived in Ohio for 100 years. I know about serial killers.
Okay. Then yeah. Serial killer. Wait! Did you say 100 years?
Yes.
Cool.
Like, you didn't come back here at all in that time?
I couldn't. You will recall the way was sealed until you all broke it with your fey blood.
Don't say that like it's our fault, dude. Last I checked, children don't get to decide when their parents make children.
It's not your fault that you were born. It is your fault that you crossed the dimensional barrier and left the way open for the angry fey gods that I trapped in your world.
I'm pretty sure
to come back.
I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before.
And it never goes anywhere.
We never would have. Listen, I didn't hang out with Max and Wayne in high school. This never would have happened if you left us alone.
We were just lab partners.
It was always going to happen. That's how the spell worked. You didn't have a choice in the matter. That's why I tried to kill you. And I've apologized for that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, bud. Whatever. And then I'm just going to slap Mansardane and wake him up.
I love that.
He will awake with a start. Mirrodin will sigh heavily and say, I'm going to look into this and see what I can dig up. You'll be fine here on your own, I'm sure. And
we've been fine for 10 years. Thanks, bud.
He will leave the room and head up, presumably, to his chambers to do some research. Mansardane awakes with a start as you slap him. I think the attending physician, maybe, who is standing by is just going to say, oh, no, please don't. But it's too late, and you've already done it. Mance is going to wake with a start. I think just immediately start screaming. And he screams for a good few seconds before that sort of just evolves into babbling. And he says, he grabs at you, Kelly, I think, and is just saying that, I see him. Every time I close my eyes, I see him. He's waiting for me. He's hiding in every shadow around every corner. The huntsman has marked me.
Where? What does it look like? Is it just the arm, or is there something else?
And he will raise his good arm and lay it over his heart. And will say, here. He's marked me here.
You have 1 near-death experience and you become a poet, Mance. Your son's gonna be so thrilled. Did he say anything to you before he grabbed you, Mance?
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, God. Let's see if the dice roller's gonna be nice. Well, first off, let me check what my persuasion is.
Nice. Sick.
So
It's a
what's up?
5.
Okay, cool. That's a 5. Your persuasion is -1. I always forget about that, I think.
Yeah, because I put the stuff into intimidation.
Yeah,
not
yeah, you
persuasion.
sure did. Yeah, your bedside manner is like a little bit lacking.
I am a scary bitch.
you are.
That's what I've survived off of.
You are a scary bitch. So you try to convince Mance to talk to you, and I guess it comes across more scary because he kind of he closes his eyes as hard as he can and just kind of like almost like a child who's, seen something scary and is refusing to open their eyes and is just going to devolve back into babbling. The huntsman, he's seen me, he's mocked me, he's waiting for me. And just that over and over again, basically. Eventually, I think the physician is going to give you kind of a dirty look, Kelly, and is going to say, are you done?
I think Wayne walks over and is just, Kelly, don't worry, I got it. And Wayne kind of puts his hands on Mance's shoulders. He's like, Mance, hey, come here. Look at me, Mance. And once his eyes meet mine, I just say, I heard you were starting up another league. What the fuck is that about, Mance? Mance, do you hear me? What's the deal?
I was going to say you can roll persuasion at disadvantage because of Kelly, but I'm just going to say he's going to redouble his efforts. And I think at that point, the physician is going to step forward and say, that's quite enough of that. And she's going to reach out and touch the table. The blue glow is going to intensify, and mercifully, Mance is going to lose consciousness.
You're nothing
That's
without
incredible.
me, Mance. You're fucking nothing. No, none of my players are going to play with you again. Wayne's getting
Kelly's
pulled
ignoring
away.
that.
Let
And
me
she's
out.
going to say to the
Alec is definitely trying to pull
Hold
you
me
back.
back.
And he's going to say, no,
Hold
that's
me
enough.
back.
That's enough, Wayne.
Kelly's just gonna say to the attendant, she's like, I'm sorry if that was a little bit aggressive first thing in the morning, but we just found out that a bunch of people did not get as lucky as Mance and survive. So these are the only 2 people we have to question.
Well, I don't think you're going to be learning anything from him. He's not in his right mind. Can't talk about anything else.
Has anyone told his kids?
No.
All right. I'll write him a letter.
Can I go over to the other patient? Do we know her name?
I think the physician is going to interpose herself if you try to do that, and she's going to say, no, she is still recovering. She is not ready for any type of questioning or conversation or anything. Let her rest.
That's fair. I mean, I saw her first, so I thought we had more of a connection than you, since you've only, known her for less than I have. But, that's fine. Obviously, you're the guy with the medical degree, so I can only heal people with my hands.
Wayne, who is that?
What?
Who is that?
Sharon is her name. Sharon.
The attending physician says, do you know her name is Sharon, or are you?
Do you know her name is Sharon?
I don't know her name. No.
Then it's Sharon.
She is in a deep healing sleep. She has not awoken yet, so I don't know her name.
Yeah. When she wakes up, she'll tell you it's Sharon. Anyway, I think
I'm
we
sure
gotta go. I think we gotta go find the other part of our team, right? We gotta start figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe they need some personal time. Who knows?
Where did you find Sharon?
In the street outside of the castle.
Wayne, why were you in the streets at night?
Taking Borkus out for a walk.
The physician is going to say, you can have this conversation elsewhere, I think. I have patients to see to. Why don't you go find your other friends that you were saying about? Maybe they're having a better morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service. And Wayne walks out.
And we are going to cut back to your friends.
Leave the buddy cop drama.
God, I love the buddy cop show.
Me too.
Is this a bad time?
Why does everyone keep walking in here? What are you... I thought you left. I thought you went home or wherever.
I did. A friend of mine was murdered last night.
What?
A friend of mine died last night, and I thought you might be able to know. I thought you might know something. You might be able to help me. You didn't say what you were doing, but if you're here, it must be something important.
We'll help you. I know that there was some stuff going on yesterday. This is Hunter.
Hi.
This is Simon.
Hello, Hunter. I just got here. Just now. Barely here for a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you eaten? Because I haven't had breakfast, and I don't think Hunter has had breakfast either, right, Hunter? Okay.
I guess not, but maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Maybe
No, it's fine. I can go. I can go.
Go where? Where are you going?
I don't know, Max. Do you want me to stay?
I want to eat food. I threw up my dinner last night and I'm starving. And Simon will help you. I promise. We're going to find out who did this and who's been doing this. I'm sorry about your friend.
thank you. Thank you. I'm not really sure what else to say, but thanks to both of you.
Let's go. You can meet my other friends. And they are better at this than I am. I'm just I just do what I do. What I did and what I do now. It's the same.
Max Miller is more than one friend. Where's the real one hiding?
Yeah. Things have changed.
I can see that.
We're walking and talking.
I'll tell you what I know, which is not much. And as you get out of the stable, I think you probably pretty much immediately see Kelly and Wayne and Luminary Alec McMorrow making their way across the grounds towards the barn.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Are you harassing those horses again?
I licked one once, okay? Once.
Max, we talked about that.
It was jumpy. He deserved it.
That's disgusting. Anyway, come
Whatever,
here.
you can ask him.
Come here. Look, it's Alec.
Here.
Hi,
Alec.
hello. Yes, I'm here, but I wish it was under better circumstances.
Who's that?
There's
So Alec, Simon, Kelly, Simon, Wayne, Simon.
hello.
Is anyone else there?
Hello, Simon. I'm Alec. I'm
Hey there, bud.
a luminary with the lamplighters, and I've my great honor to have the acquaintance of these heroes. And heroes, you say? Yeah, and I mean, I knew this one back before all of that business started, I suppose. But
Max, don't say that. Max, don't say that. That's not true.
superheroes.
Okay.
We're like
You're
awesome.
a hero.
And secret agents. I mean, fuck.
Okay. Anyway. Hi, Simon. Quick weird question. You live around here?
do I? Not in a castle, but
No, but like in the vicinity.
Calderon. Yeah.
Did you see anybody really
Kelly.
sketchy, super tall,
Kelly.
blonde?
Kelly.
What else did you say he had, Wayne?
He had like a sword for a hand.
His friend was murdered.
Ooh.
Well,
Probably
his
by
friend
that
and a
guy.
couple other people last night too.
Mm-hmm. Same guy?
That's
Yeah,
what we
probably.
think.
Well, I don't know. Probably.
Your friend's arm missing?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, same guy.
What is with all the perverts in this country?
Yeah, you know.
And I look
what
at
is
the
he-
I look over at Mirrodin's tower.
Just horrific.
I just
Alec is like, I don't. All right, that's an interesting theory. What makes you think this is sexual in nature?
never said that.
You
Well,
can't see him
what's your-
looking out the window, but you do see a set of shades close when you look up at the tower.
Just two shutters bang shut.
Well, it's just that you called the killer a pervert, and that would seem to
That's
imply.
that's just
It's
what Max
nothing.
does. That's just
Pervert.
what he does.
Perversions don't have to be
Just
sexual, but they're taking
yeah.
trophies, which is perverse.
Right.
Yeah, exactly,
okay, I
Alec.
suppose that's accurate, but okay.
Can we talk about this over breakfast?
How do you want to?
Yeah.
Making
I
your
only
way back
finished
in,
half my meat stack, so
you return
How many
to
stacks?
your abandoned meat stack.
Huh.
And
somebody
I won't be
stole a
doing that
sausage
again.
link. I'm like, oh, my sausage links. That's my favorite part.
a few minutes later, you are back in the banquet hall in the castle, Calderon Keep. You have breakfast in front of you. Simon is barely picking at it. Alec is digging the fuck in.
And Max is also digging in.
Yeah, 100%.
No, there's not a moment where food is not in his mouth.
Right. Alec was definitely like very hesitant about eating because nobody else really was, I don't imagine. But as soon as Max starts digging in, he's just like, oh, okay, cool, weird. All right, great. I'm very hungry.
Like, Kelly will sit next to Simon with like her 1 cup of black coffee and be like, so
So
So how do you know Max?
it hasn't even occurred.
Scratch that from the record.
It hasn't even occurred to Kelly.
That's not canon.
Oh, wait, too. Meat stack.
It hasn't even occurred to Kelly to ask how, like, why Simon was
Oh my
there.
god.
Because she's just like, yes, you came here because you heard we took a bunch of people who got their shit rocked.
Exactly.
Kelly is just gonna start asking, like, was your friend just out at night? Are they usually out at night?
yeah, I mean, he's been known, I suppose, to keep late hours. He's not. I suppose you might say most people might say that he's a bit touched in the head. Not all there. His name was Morris. It's hard to explain. I am part of a group that sort of looks after the I guess the less fortunate or the needy in Calderon. Um, People who, for one reason or another, aren't like being treated well.
Like a home for these people.
Yeah, yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, like a place to stay if they need it. Somebody to intervene if they're being treated cruelly. There's some folks just aren't interested in life in Calderon the way that it is. The happier living on the outskirts, on their own, without a roof over their heads. So we do the best we can to see that their needs are met, that they're taken care of. Morris is one of many, but we found him this morning outside of the house. Dead. His arm missing.
I'm sorry that you had to find him like that. That's
He talked to himself a lot, and that, I think, put a lot of people on edge. But he's been roughed up plenty of times. I just couldn't fathom why somebody would do something like that. I guess in a way it's a bit of a relief to find out that it's not just because of how he was.
it's
Not really.
it's wrong either way.
Yeah.
It's wrong, but I think I understand what you mean, where it's almost better that it was random rather than
Yeah, that's
hateful.
it. That's it.
Besides the arm, was there anything else on him that you might have noticed? Any kind of a mark?
Yeah, well, not a mark exactly. He bled out from his arm being taken and not receiving treatment. It seemed like just left there to bleed into the street. But there was something that he wrote out in his own blood. Just one word. I thought it was just more sort of his last ramble, I guess. His last bit of nonsense. Doubting that now. It said Huntsman.
That's the name we heard from one of the other victims, too. That doesn't mean anything.
What is Lyra's... Lyra, Jesus, sorry. What is Kelly's passive insight?
My passive insight is 13.
For a brief second, you would see Simon's eyes flick over towards Hunter. And then back, but he would say, no, I don't know a huntsman.
It's not a figure in stories like we hear about other figures. So it's just strange to hear it repeatedly. I'm assuming he has to say it to them.
Alec will probably speak up and say, likely, unless there's something to give it away, I suppose.
Well,
Maybe he's, dressed like one. Furs and, painted to look like the trees. Maybe carrying a bow or a spear or something.
I'm just gonna do a hard elbow and just throw an elbow into him and be like, well, Wayne said what he looked like.
Yeah, he's got a sword for an arm.
So you can't really use a bow when
Before?
you're using an arm.
Yeah, saw him last night. Borkus tried to
Good.
keep up, but this guy's quick.
Wait, last
What?
night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently Wayne just went for a walk.
Borkus had to poop.
Okay,
Borkus didn't even-
sometimes we go on walks at night.
Listen, I too used to go on walks at night. Nobody does anything good on walks at night.
I think that's a bit of a projection right there. Okay, you didn't do anything good on your walks at night.
It's a little bit of a protection.
Yeah. You're
Projection,
protecting
Max,
you're protecting
projection.
yourself from
What?
the good in the world, I think.
Okay, well, sword for an arm, definitely not screaming huntsman in my mind, so back at square one, I suppose.
Weren't they imprinted or something?
No. It's
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
the whole thing.
And I'll
Like-
throw out there too, I usually in these situations throw up like try and sense if there's something off about it, and doesn't seem like it's something overtly evil. Like a fiend or a fae or a celestial or whatever, like
An
seems either
undead
something
creature.
cloaked or or undead. Seems like it's somebody, not something.
So
Nice.
not.
There's plenty of evil in the hearts of man.
That's true.
Can I say that?
Can you say what?
I think Max will lean over to Kelly and be like, Denon, can I say that?
I wouldn't. You'll freak him out. Also, pretty sure those would count as one of those things that he can sense.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps eating. Yeah.
Look, the lamplighters are going to look into this, of course. We're going to do the best we can, but obviously I think it's a bit out of our, jurisdiction. I mean, it's literally in our jurisdiction, but also there haven't been a lot of murders like this in Calderon over the years. And if what we dealt with last night was able to get away from the Wayne Hovacek,
Yep.
I'm not sure we're really qualified to deal with it.
If all he has is a sword for an arm, we could take him.
Simon says that's not enough for you. Sword for an arm, not impressive enough anymore.
No.
No.
Oh.
Listen. We just dealt with a flying undead head. This sword arms dude isn't even the weirdest thing we've seen in like the last month.
And Max, you kind of have an axe for an arm. Like if you wanted to, you could just do the axe arm thing.
Don't.
It's not an axe. I'll bring out the guillotine and just like swing it around though.
Oh, do you still have
Be
the
like-
glove? The glove?
No, I
axe?
thought I gave it to you.
Your old one.
Oh.
But I'll take the glove one if you're not going to use it anymore.
Comes out like an axe for a hand. I was wrong.
There was a
I
version
do-
of that until Max got Gallows from the
Yeah.
Raven
Yeah,
Queen.
so that's like old news. You had an axe for a hand like a million years ago.
I did.
When you say the thing about the flying undead head, Simon is going to look over at Max and is going to say, that was you.
Well,
The business in Barrow, that was you.
I mean, it wasn't just me. It was all of us. But yeah,
Well, clearly I came to the right people then. Feeling a bit out of my league, maybe, but
like I said, things have changed.
listen, I'm sorry to turn up like this, just out of nowhere and dump all this on you, and I appreciate you taking it on and looking into it, and I feel a lot better knowing that you're all on the case, as it were, I guess, but I've got folks that I should check on around Calderon. Make sure that they're all right too.
If Max
Yeah.
doesn't say anything, Kelly's gonna just be like, well, it was nice to meet you. Poor circumstances. Nice to meet you. We will let you know if we... Well, you'll hear it when it's done. We're invested, so...
Right. Okay.
I'll walk you out. And just kind of like glances over at Hunter and just kind of looks away.
Hunter is staring at the plate of food that they have just been pushing food on this entire conversation, trying not to make eye contact with anyone.
Simon gets up from the table. Max, you walking him out?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You do that. Alec McMar is going to sort of lean over towards Hunter and going to be like, are you going to eat that?
And Hunter just shakes their head and pushes their plate over to him.
Alec will take it. He will start eating Hunter's food.
I love Alec so much.
Same.
The front door, you see Simon out to the front gate of the keep, and he is going to pause, not looking at you, and say, really just cannot apologize enough for what I got there.
Fine. What did you hear?
You want me to tell you the truth? Because I'd prefer to lie.
I think I can take it.
Most of it. Enough to hear what you said about us.
Maybe this isn't the right time, but I don't.
Yeah, no, look, Max, I just want to say, whatever it was back then, whatever it might still be, it's not worth dragging up. You're with someone, and I understand that, and honestly, I never even thought I'd get the chance to see you again, much less have this conversation. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're good.
It's not like that. I just want to. I just wish we had met under better circumstances and we could just sit down and talk. It's not a good time. I'm your friend. I'm sorry. And the walking in, I'm sorry. It's you weren't supposed to hear that like that. And
I know. I know that. Listen, appreciate everything that you're doing. Maybe we'll just leave it at that. Guess.
do you want to know do you want to stay updated, I guess is my question.
Yeah. I'd like that. If you don't mind, if you can find me at Peregrine House. If I'm not there, you can leave a message and they'll get it back to me. I guess timing never was our strong suit, was it?
We had all the time in the world back then. We'll be able to see each other though, right?
He looks conflicted. Huh. Of course we will. If you want. If that's what you want.
And Max is gonna like extend a hand.
He's gonna to shake your hand. Kind of formally.
Okay, interesting.
Kind of formally, he's gonna reach out. Normally, you're expecting him. The thing that you're probably expecting him to do, because it's kind of what you've always done, is to clasp you by the arm as you clasp him, and then to put his hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of reaches out and almost gingerly just sort of puts his hand in yours and shakes it once and then lets go and says, I really can't thank you enough. Let me know when you hear anything. I'll see you around.
Of course.
Simon's gonna leave.
Okay. I think Max will just kind of stand there for a little bit, and then walk back.
Okay. You walk back into the dining hall and you see your fellows there.
I think Kelly is trying to defend her stance on nobody goes walking at night without something wrong being wrong. Like, no, there's always something wrong. Even if it's not someone being up to something shady, being up to something shitty, there's still something wrong that compels you out of the safety of your home into the dark.
You have a dog?
No. I'm a
Dogs need to
sane
poop.
person.
Dogs need to poop. I mean, I guess you don't
You
know
don't
that
have to
because
go
you don't
out
have a
with
dog.
them.
But
First off,
dogs gotta poop.
First off, I've been hanging out with you for like 3 months. I've never seen that dog before in my life. So it's been going to the bathroom just fine without you in the middle of the night. Second off, most people just like let the dog out and stay close to home, and then when the dog's done, they come back inside. They don't go on whole ass walks in the dark.
That's fair. That's
Walks
fair.
in the night are nice.
Walks in the night are nice. It's not as busy out there. It gets pretty busy.
It's a little colder.
A little bit cooler. Alec, on your way out, I wanted to give you a gift for
We're
your
kicking
birthday yesterday.
I think
On your
Wayne
way
wants
out,
to
I
have
wanted
a
to make
prize.
sure-
Yesterday?
I wanted to
told-
make sure I got you something. And I pull out like an original from like the original team Gritsky stick signed by every team member. And I just let them know, hey, not only have you been a great help to us at every turn, Alec, you're a great friend and my best fan. And I wanted you to have this Gritsky stick because I forgot about your birthday. I feel terrible about it. I want you to have that.
No, that's honestly, Wayne, that's more. You didn't have to do anything like that. I appreciate it. He holds up the stick and says, "This, honestly, this means the world to me." But
Yeah.
much as I love the Raging Mammoths, it'd mean even more if it was signed by the greatest Gritsky team I've ever seen. And he holds it out to Kelly and Max and Hunter.
Nice. Hell yeah. Well, you can have that one, and I pull out another Gritsky stick. I keep a couple. It's like they're like the game ones, so it's like a little wooden stick. It's like this big.
Nice.
It's for show. All right, team, let's get it in there. Hey, pass it around. Hey, now you got 2 signed by the greatest player of all time, Wayne Uvacek.
Honestly, I can't thank you enough. I can't tell you what this means to me.
Hey, no problem. We'll take care of that for you. I take like the plate of half-finished food. You have a great rest of your day. Great shift out there.
Yeah, I guess we...
Appreciate that. Thank you, Wayne. I just had one question before I go.
Yeah.
If none of you are going to be walking alone at night, well, there's an odd number of you. How's that going to work? Well, because it's you 4, and then the other hunter. He looks around and says, "Where are they?"
Probably his room. He's been kind of...
I think Hunter maybe actually like jumps to their feet and like runs.
Did I say something wrong?
No, you probably just reminded him that other hunter doesn't eat breakfast, and that's been kind of a problem, I think.
I
Alright.
can always walk alone at night.
I'll walk with him.
Look,
Hello.
I've got things, and you've got things to discuss. It sounds like, so I'll just be on my way. Thank you again.
Yeah,
Happy
we
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
we might have questions about some of those other people who died, but we know where to find you. You know where to find us.
sure do. And he will leave. Alec will leave. Hunter, you run across the keep to where your quarters are, all of you. Are you knocking on the door?
Mhm.
You receive no reply.
Fuck.
It's about right.
Does the doorknob open if I go to
It
turn
does
it?
turn. It does not appear to be locked.
Fuck.
And what do I see when I push open the room?
Empty room. Empty except for an envelope sitting on the desk that used to be covered in other hunters' schematics and design plans, a gear here, a tool there, and just has written across the front of it, Hunter.
I open it.
You pull out the envelope and you start to read it. It says, "Dear Hunter, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the letter. You of all people know we're not great with goodbyes. And I'm sorry about everything that I said to Max and to you and in front of you. I can't stay here anymore. Not knowing, the wondering is killing me slowly. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm the real hunter, or you're the real hunter, or we both are, or neither of us is. You know better than anyone that before we came here, it was hard to find anyone who was kind to us. For me, that didn't change when I got here. So I guess in a way it makes sense that the person who has been the nicest to me in my entire life is me. And I can't tell you what that means to me. I can't tell you what these last few months have meant. Arrow was hell. And this has been maybe not heaven, maybe just earth. We'll see each other again. There are faint eraser marks, and then it just says Hunter.
And Hunter takes that letter and slides it into the inner pocket of their jacket, and then just puts their back against the wall and slowly slides to the floor and just buries their head against their knees and cries.
Back in the banquet hall.
Oh my god.
Oh.
What are y'all doing? Like McMorrow bids you a
Kelly is
fond
jumping
farewell.
on Wayne immediately because he's being weird and she wants to know why the fuck he was in those city at night. Immediately.
All right, so obviously it's pretty fucking difficult to keep everybody in the same room together at the same time, so I'm just going to kind of come out with it. Got most of the pertinent people here. First thing, it can be difficult to have effective communication when we speak with our emotions. So maybe everybody keep emotions regulated until after I've said everything that needs to be said, and then we'll kind of go from there. To start out, I went and saw Ryan last night. Hey, you know what?
Shut up, Max.
You saw who?
So you remember Ryan?
No, I remember clearly.
Okay,
Shut up. I want to hear this.
So I was heading off to bed, me and Borkus, and I got a message in my ear from the bracelet, actually, the badge, and it just asked me to come and meet him. And so I did. I went out.
Wayne.
He asked that I meet him, and so I did. And I just, for some reason, had a feeling that everything would be okay, and it was. I imagine I'm the person that he reached out to because he knew I wouldn't try and kill him, or bring everybody else to try and do a little bit of the old sneak attack. So anyway, I went and talked to him, and he sounds lost. Since the head is gone, yeah, well,
I can sympathize with that, Max.
Yeah, since the head is gone, it sounds like he just doesn't really know what to do and where to go, and recognizes that his actions previously were obviously wrong, but at the same time kind of tried to convey that while he isn't, trying to defer responsibility for what happened, but in him trying to explain it, I mean, it sounds like he was being used, obviously so. And now that the head is gone, he doesn't really have someone. Woo! Let's go!
Two of them.
Let's
Double
go!
raid.
Let's go!
Thank you. Thanks everybody for hopping in.
We are going through it.
Let's
go.
Let's go.
We are deep in the drama. Real quick, hi, we're live from the apocalypse. We play tabletop role-playing games to raise money for charitable causes and nonprofits and good organizations. We're currently raising money for the First Nations Development Institute.
Fucking grip it and rip it, baby.
Thank you so much for the donation.
That down, dude.
Let's go.
Wow, happy Valentine's
Crack one
Day.
for the big boy.
Valentine's
Happy
Day.
birthday to Alec.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Alec McMorrow.
Happy birthday to the one good cop.
The one and only. The one and only good cop.
The only good cop, Luminary Alec McMorrow. Anyway.
Luminary Alec McMorrow. So it's at the end of the day, he wants to help. He mentioned that for all of the research he did, for all of the headway he made, he knows about the Danon, he knows about the situation, and at some point, when we are fighting the Danon, because we know that we will be, and when we do need help, because you know that we will, he wants to be there to help. And whether or not we want to allow that, that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, the conversation was Ryan reaching out to say that he hopes to be better and is not asking for anything from us. He is going on the journey that he is going on. Whether or not you trust him, whether or not you want to speak with him, that's perfectly fine. But I told him to keep in touch, and I will be doing so as well. And now everybody can let their emotions flow. Yay!
Wait, and you believed him? You believed everything he said? At least tell me you kicked his ass. At least tell me you gave him a punch for what he did, what he said to Hunter, and what he did to us.
Hug him twice.
Max is just gonna get up and just walk away.
Kelly
and just like punch a wall.
Kelly is just still seated, and she's just like, well, you can't do that alone again. You understand that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I had Borkus, so more like 1.5. I don't know.
He's dead, but he's not dead like me. Wayne, we're still kind of unclear if I'm dead or not, but he could have really hurt you.
But he didn't.
And I would like to believe that he wouldn't if you saw him again, but...
You said you spoke to him, or he spoke to you?
You come back,
Max comes back.
Yeah, I walk back in, I'm like, you said he spoke to you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Brian, listen up, you little piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking find you and I'm gonna end you, okay? I'm gonna put you in the ground. And I actually walk out this time.
Okay.
And I punch another wall.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not asking we, show him fucking blind faith. I'm not a fucking idiot. But at the same time, we're talking about a guy who was possessed and his possessor is now gone. I'm not saying he has our best interest in mind, but if someone like that reaches out, then I definitely do think there were good intentions there. And he's not asking for anything more. He's really not.
I believe you, Wayne. I do. But my concern is that just because the head isn't possessing him anymore doesn't mean nobody can possess him.
That's true.
So he might not ever talk, like, it might never come up again. But I'm just saying, maybe don't by yourself in the middle of the night again. Maybe.
That's fair. I just think, so you just saw what happened where at the mention of Ryan's name, one of our closest friends punched 2 different walls.
Yeah.
And quite loudly in this public space spoke into his wrist that he was going to beat the shit out of someone.
Yes.
Not here. So I 100% hear what you're saying. But in my opinion, it was a calculated risk to try and, foster an ally down the road. But now that the ice has been kind of broken there, then
we can call it that. We can call it a calculated risk. We can call it a calculated risk. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Hey, what? What are the odds, as someone as well-researched and well-read as he was, what are the odds that you think Ryan might know anything about a huntsman?
Pretty good, I bet.
I swear to God. I'm not there. I promise.
Max comes back in.
Count
another thing.
Kelly will play with Max on this all day.
That he punched a hole in, he just pokes his head through. Bitch.
Listen, right now our resources are hoping Mirrodin can find something and just hoping that we can run this guy down.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently spent a lot of time in that library.
Yeah. That's a good point.
If he wants to build trust back with us, so that we're willing to let him fight with us, willing to let him get anywhere near us with a sword in his fucking hand again without us ramming one right between his fucking ribs.
Mm-hmm.
This is how he can start.
That's
and
true.
If you want to be the one who has that line of communication with him, I won't say anything to Max.
I wanna intentionally just open the line baby bird, but I want that to be opening the line. I don't want him to actually hear the words baby bird. This is MVP reaching out to QB, we could use your help, just so that Max hears that.
So that I hear that?
You don't hear me. You don't hear me. I only do it to so it can be sent to you, but as if I'm talking to Ryan Beckinsale.
I start hanging.
And I'm just like,
"Ooh shit, wrong person." Just kidding. And I get the fuck out of the banquet hall.
I'm sprinting after.
Kelly's just sitting
I'm
alone
like
at the table.
mid-rage, like.
So if Wayne's gonna take off and Max is gonna go rip Wayne apart, I guess Kelly's just gonna pick up her cup of coffee and now she's gonna go follow where Hunter went.
Okay. Cool. Max, you run back into the banquet hall. You are hopping mad, literal steam lines coming off of your head. But it's empty when you get there. I think you maybe pass Kelly walking out very calmly with like just a cup of coffee or tea in her hands. But in the banquet hall itself, you don't see anybody. Kelly, you going to find Hunter?
Yep. I'm going up.
Yeah. You smash the table. We get it.
Let me be angry.
We get your whole deal. We get the shtick, all right?
Only so many walls in the room, all right?
Get mad. The people.
I eat a sausage.
Yeah,
but
I go up to where Hunter took off to, over to the rooms.
Yeah, I think you maybe open the door, knock on the door to Hunter's room. You don't receive a reply, but you see the door to other Hunter's room is open.
And I walk in and I see
Hunter still sitting on the floor, just sobbing.
She's gonna go and sit down next to him and just kind of lean, do the Greyhound lean against them.
And I think Hunter might, depending on how Kelly responds to this, like lean over and just bury their head against your shoulder. Just like looking
free
for
the one
comfort.
arm and hook it over. And she's just gonna do like a little bit of a rock and be like, okay. It's okay.
And Hunter's just going to shake their head in response to that.
If it's not okay now, it will be. And just kind of stroke their head and just rock. Until they're ready to say anything if they have something to say.
I think when they finally do say something, like their crying has slowed, their breathing has slowed. And I think the first thing they're going to say is, I'm so sorry for crying on you, Kelly. You've been through enough as it is. This is nothing compared to what you went through.
That doesn't matter, Hunter.
Of course it does.
It's not a contest. It's not an Olympic sport. There is no one person who suffered more than anyone else. They just suffered different, Hunter.
I feel like it just sounds ridiculous that this has probably been, these last 2 days have probably been 2 of the worst days of my life.
Well, to be fair, you got to spend 10 years without all the bullshit that comes with human relationships and their intricacies.
I mean, that was more than 10 years, if we're being honest with each other. Simon seems like a good guy, doesn't he?
Simon seems sad and trying to get help where he can, but I don't think that matters.
I don't think you're right.
Well, Max might be beating Wayne into the ground on your behalf, so I think I might be a little bit right.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh, so the reason why Wayne was out in the city last night is because he went and he saw Ryan Beckinsale.
And I think for one of the first times, not the only time, but one of the first times, you see Hunter look really angry.
Mm-hmm. Kelly's gonna nod. She's gonna be like, "Yep, that was Max's response too."
Why would Wayne do that?
Because Wayne is a forgiving person who sees the best in everyone. Because he's
And like the anger like drops a tiny bit as they're just kind of like, yes, that's true.
Wayne is like the equivalent of like a golden retriever if you put it inside of a person. Like
You're not wrong.
Even when he's mad, he's kind of happy about it. Like, and I think, I kind of get it. You know, like we all saw Ryan die, and then he wasn't dead. Can't really fault Max for being curious. I can't really fault Wayne for being curious. I can fault Wayne all I want for going without telling any of us, but wouldn't you have been a little bit curious if he said he had something to say?
Yes,
something happened to him.
I would have gone immediately. I have so many questions for him.
Yeah, right?
I want to know what he knows.
Yeah. So, Max is not having a good time about it, though. He's really, really offended. Well, he's angry because, he hates Ryan, but he's also really offended on your behalf. So, like I said, I think Simon doesn't matter beyond the fact that you can be friends with people from your past in different ways. We're friends with Max now. We weren't friends with Max before. It's just people change, your relationships with people change. And again, Max is trying to beat Wayne into the ground right now, Hunter.
Yeah, but Kelly, you saw Simon. Look at him and look at me. He's perfect.
Okay, buddy, pal, friend. Simon works doing
noble work, doing incredible things.
Incredible things. This is Max Miller you are tied up in knots about. Max Miller, who went with us to go destroy the head of Barrow. Max Miller, who puts value in physical strength and combat prowess. And let us not forget who here. Okay, here's Simon, and here's you. How many people have you killed in front of Max since we all reunited? Several, including those trolls and those undead. Remember? Yes?
But I don't know that that's what Max likes.
You could buck up and ask him.
I did.
You buck up and ask him again. He's thick.
Yes, he is. Have you seen those arms?
He's thick, and he's never had a relationship before this. Like, listen. My first relationship was when I was 14 years old, and we were stupid. Max is a grown man going through this with you right now. And he's stupid.
Yeah, I've never had a relationship either.
It's a lot. Y'all are both gonna be dumb about it. Like, that's just how it is.
Like I said before, this just kind of seems ridiculous when there's a serial killer and whatever else is going on right now.
Yeah, I haven't said any of it like kind of like out loud, but I think it's very suspiciously timed that this all happened when we got back. So I don't love that. So we are gonna have to do something about that relatively quickly, I think.
Outside. Max, you storm out the front doors of Calderon Keep.
Yeah.
You see Wayne standing there. Wayne, you see a very angry Max Miller coming towards you.
I'm like twitching in and out of rage. Like eyes flash red, flare of like black energy.
I take the dodge action.
You start to take the dodge action. You get ready, you brace yourself for what's coming, but Max, before you can reach Wayne, something happens that has never happened before.
Oh, no.
Orcus materializes.
Let's go.
Unprompted. You don't summon him, you don't call for him, he just shows up next to you.
Nice. Didn't have to use a spell slot.
But he's not paying any attention to Max. He's not paying any attention to what's going on around you. He's staring out across the city, and a low rumbling growl is in his chest. He looks very focused. And Wayne, you understand as he says, "He's out there, Wayne."
What a lovely day!
Let's go!
Thank you for the
Let's keep going.
raid.
Let's go!
Keep going. We've got people. Let's go.
Let's go all night. Let's go all night.
Come on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you so much, Girls Run These Worlds, for rating us. We are getting probably close to the end of our story for the night, but
Not at all close. Just starting.
we appreciate
really.
you showing up. If you haven't been here before, this is live from the apocalypse. We play tabletop role-playing games to raise money for charitable causes and good organizations. We're currently raising money for the First Nations Development Institute. This is Class Reunion, which is a very fun D&D game that we play every other Tuesday night. Thank you so much for the follow. Like I said, we are just about wrapping up. If any of you have a burning urge to donate to the First Nations Development Institute, you can hit !donate in the chat. That will call up the thing, and the bot will post the link, and you can do that. And stuff will happen. Alerts will go off. I may never finish this session if we get enough alerts. So do with that information what you will, I guess. Orcus materializes next to you, Wayne. Your otherworldly Saint Bernard celestial mount, complete with a barrel under his chin, appears next to you. He's very focused out at the rest of Calderon. From the top of the steps of Calderon Keep, you kind of have this very clear view looking out over the rest of the city. And that low rumbling growl builds in his chest. And you understand as he says, "He's out there, Wayne. I've got his scent." Something bad's happening.
Real quick, is Borkus like an animal? Like if I used beast speech, would I be able to understand?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then you also understand as he says that.
Cool.
What do you do?
Is he talking about Ryan?
Probably not.
Ryan's scent?
Probably not. But you want to go put that anger to some good use? Go kill a huntsman. Get back some arms.
Let's go get back some arms.
Brothers in arms.
Let's go. Kelly, and then adding into the chat, also adding in Hunter. It's go time.
You each get like half of a message because again, it doesn't work that way.
I feel like you just hear Kelly, and then Hunter hears the full message because Hunter's the last one to be told.
Right, exactly.
Wayne, repeat.
He says it's go time. He says something like that.
Borkus has this scent. There's a huntsman on the loose. Some bad shit's about to go down.
Huntsman, bad shit. We need to go.
Okay. Yep, let's go. Let's go. You've got some aggression to get out. Max has some aggression to get out. Let's go.
You step out of Calderon Keep. You are all four together, standing on the top of the step. The city lies before you. Borkus stands beside you. He looks at you, Wayne, and says, "Is it time to go?"
Let's get it.
And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Let's go!
Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out tonight. We're going to end our story there. Pick it up in 2 weeks, which will be... What will that be? The 28th. That'll be February 28th. So come on back then if you want to know what happens with the rest of this Huntsman story. There's a serial killer on the loose in the capital city of the kingdom. We'll see if our heroes from Ohio...
Nothing else is going on.
Nothing else, absolutely nothing else is going on. Hopefully this episode was sufficiently gay. I did the best that I could. Hard pressed to think of how it could have been gayer, but yeah, there we are.
We could have kissed in the stables again.
You could have kissed anyone. Max could have kissed anyone. I'm not stopping you. You had plenty of opportunities.
I'm still gunning for
Not
the throuple.
That's true.
Like, nobody, one person in this entire planet can kiss Kelly, and she will smack the shit out of anyone else who tries.
Wayne is working on himself right now. So.
It's completely fair.
Borkus can give you a smooch.
Yeah, Borkus is giving kisses out like there's no tomorrow. You want a smooch, you can get it from Borkus. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out tonight. If you donated, if you hung out in the chat, if you rated, if you subscribed even, we really appreciate it so much. It lets us keep doing what we're doing, and what we're doing is raising money for nonprofits and good organizations like the First Nations Development Institute. We have kind of a quiet week ahead of us. We will not be back until Sunday for Academy H. And if you want to come back and check that out, that is the live recording of our Masks Actual Play podcast. The fully edited version of the episodes are available on your podcasting platform of choice under the name Live from the Apocalypse. But we live record the sessions here on Twitch. This Sunday is one of our recording sessions. So if you want to come back this Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will see 3/4 of this group. Actually, I guess 4/5 of this group, including me, in that game. Really, we just leave Raph out of it.
But Raph joins us in the chat, so that's fine.
I'm the fan. I'm the fan kid in this.
Yes, they are amazing.
It's true. It's true. So come check that out.
I'm the one that's
Sunday.
reading all the comics
in the real
Mhm.
world about your
Right.
guys' characters. So.
Right. The definitely real Academy Age comic books.
Mhm.
Yeah.
New merch idea just dropped.
God, the work that would go into that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
As someone who knows people who work professionally in the industry for like Boom and stuff. Oh no.
It is extremely true. But yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. That'll be the next time we're live. So yeah, come on back then. If you're not already following us, you can do that. We are on all of the social platforms. Follow us on them if you are so inclined. We would love to have your support and stuff. And also, we have a Discord community, which is a very nice place full of great people, and we would love to have you in it. Don't do this. Why would you do it again?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody vote in the poll. We're leaving
not voting.
anyway. We're leaving anyway. And don't lick horses. That's common sense and it's feral behavior.
It's fine behavior. It's fine.
No,
It's
all
fine.
of this happened tonight because you licked a horse. What was the inciting incident? Max licked a horse.
I like Jumpy. He's barely a horse.
No horses. Anyway, we're going to go around and do outroductions, I guess. Same order as usual, starting with JD. This is all your fault.
I'm sorry that I licked a horse. This is
Are
on
you?
me.
Are you?
A little. I sat on that reaction image for literally like 6 months, and this is what I get for finally using it. Anyways, yes, I am JD. I have been Hunter. You can find me, as Will said, for Academy H this Sunday. And in between now and then, I will also be with RPGs Uncovered for Cyber Rats on Saturday, and then with Tales from the Table Studios Monday for SCP: A Crumbling Foundation. And that is all I have the energy to say,
That's
because it has been
extremely
a
fair.
time.
And you played Hunter, who is fine.
All of my characters are fine. It's
True.
fine.
Max.
What's up? I'm Raph again. I played Max again this session and potentially in the future sessions. Who knows what's gonna happen? I will be in the chat for Academy Age, so come hang out. It's great. Go listen if you haven't. It's phenomenal. What else? I'm on Twitter being feral, and I'm once again pro licking horses. I think that it's yummy and nice. It's a good way to, give a little blessing to God's greatest gift to Earth, angels in
Horses.
physical form.
All right, you're done. You're done.
How else are you supposed to wait?
Julia.
God's greatest gift is hairless cats, and that's that on that. Hi, I'm Julia. I'm the local Delaware cryptid. I have been Kelly Violet, the horrible what even am I? Rogue cleric hybrid of the evening. Yeah, I will be back here on Sunday as Lyra Kroll, who is far less well-adjusted than as Kelly is, but she pretends to be well-adjusted. Other than that, I'm hanging out in the Discord, and I'm whiling on Twitter, and pretty much all social media at Hexwhat. You can literally find me most places as such. And that's all.
Fair. Fun Lyra fact, she may or may not be a war criminal, depending on your definition.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
fine. It's
pretty
fine.
sure what she did is not in the Geneva Convention, so I think she's fine.
Pretty
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
A loophole, perhaps. Corey.
Hey, it's me. I'm Corey, and this is Juniper. She's a bad cat. She keeps jumping on keyboards and stuff, but
She's precious and perfect.
she's pretty cute. I have played Wayne Hovacek, greatest Gritsky player of all time, soon to be greatest secret agent of all time that a Noon has never seen. On Sunday, I'll also be playing Extra, a young superhero, on Academy H. So come check us out there. You can catch me on Twitter at Scoochius. I don't tweet. Every time we have a show like this, I say I'm going to tweet, and I don't. But maybe if you follow me and at me, I'll tweet at you. And that'll do it.
Hell yeah. Hello, I'm Will. Just a quick outro here. One of the GMs and the organizers here. I run this game. I also run Academy H, and I edit that into the podcast form as well. So listen to Academy H on your platform of choice, and check out Academy H this Sunday. And Monday, you can find me over at Guild Superior playing in the Lost Sands for the next 2 weeks. And then we're done with that. But we are actually going to raid over to Guild Superior right now. They are probably finishing up their game Heroes of Greyhawk. But we'll hop over there and we'll say good night. We'll bid them a fond farewell. There are 2 raid messages in the chat. If you happen to be subscribed, you can copy paste the first one. And if you are not subscribed, that's totally fine. You can grab the second one with all the little raccoons. And on that note, we are going to disappear in just a second.
Don't forget to vote.
I'm going to get small
Don't forget
again.
to vote.
Don't vote.
Don't vote.
Don't forget to vote.
Don't vote.
Vote,
We're going
please.
to
Vote in
disappear
your
for just
vote
a
in your
second.
local primaries and your general elections. Do not vote in this poll.
But
We
where it
won.
matters,
Feel like the poll
support,
offended.
support progressive measures at your local, state, and federal
Out of
level.
here. That's key.
Don't support horse licking, and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. Lick a
Hey,
horse.
everybody.
Now.
Don't. Good night.